Hi, Melanie. Thank you so much for your patience. So we are going to look at a 6 month spread for you, and I know that we're halfway through January, but we'll just go with it. I might do it, just throw in an extra month there. I do want to say with these long-standing monthly readings. I mean, with these like 6 months out, things are more open further out for interpretation, okay? So we're looking at the energies as they stand now. So, Spirit, what does Melanie need to know for the next 6 months? Okay, represented January. Representing the month of Melanie. Okay, there's January. I probably should have pre-shuffled this. February. It's all right. It's February. April. Spirit, the card that represents for the month of April. There's April. The month of May. June. There's June. And let's do July for good measure, because Melanie's been patient. What do we need to know for July? Okay, I'm gonna put July here, just over to the side for now. I want to kind of create some space because I am gonna do clarifiers on everything for each month. You can kind of get like a little bit more of a determination, because one card to represent the whole month, yeah, you can do it that way, but let's look at January, even though we're midway through January, but this will give us an indication as to sort of what is going on, like how, accurate things are right now. When I was doing the shuffle for January and February, things felt a little bit rough, like the shuffle felt tight, I'm going to say that. So I wanted to say when I was shuffling that maybe January or was a little bit stuck, or I don't know if gruesome is the right word, but it just felt like there was a little bit of struggle bus energy, or a little bit of push, a little bit of effort being put into it. When I see the magician here, though, this speaks to me about creativity, opportunity, and creating what it is we want. This is about like having our mind on maybe far set goals or ideas of things that we want to create, and having access to the resources to make it happen, right? But I didn't necessarily get that feeling from the shuffle. To me, it felt like there may have been a bit of a struggle in the month of January, or when I was shuffling for January, it may be a little bit difficult, right? The magician would speak otherwise, though. So to me, I my first initial feeling, and let me turn on some more light, maybe that's good. That might be good light actually for you, because it might be too bright. You won't be able to see the cards. The Magician for me, when I'm thinking about it, is it could be just the arrival of the new year or the beginning of something fresh, 2023, the invigoration of that, the excitement of that. It is the first card of the major arcana, so this is a big month. If anything, this is a big month to set our intentions, right, as to what we want to create this year. And so, and the Magician being here says to me that you have the opportunity to actually really harvest it or make it happen, because who better to make things happen creatively than the very card of the Magician, right? So, and he has the resources available to him. It's kind of like dare to dream in this month about where you want to be by this month, right? He's setting off the tone. So let's look at this. Three of Wands, I like that. That's looking into the future, creating from a place of spirit, fire energy, kind of almost waiting in expectation. To me, the three is the mind, body, spirit kind of coming together. So I like that with the Magician there. You have the Eight of Swords. So this is the bit of the clunkiness that I'm feeling, the restriction, the heaviness that was in the shuffle. Something in your mind, there's some sort of worry or some sort of restriction that you feel like you can't let go of, or that you haven't quite gotten free of yet. It might be something that you're carrying from last year, but you want out. And you're definitely dreaming with the Page of Cups here. And there's like almost some play energy in the month of January, where we should be open to new ideas, new opportunities, even if they come to us in a way that isn't necessarily maybe conventional, let's say, right? This to me feels like energy that we want to get in and dream in, or manifest in, right? The Magician would be all about manifesting too. So is the Three of Wands. This Eight of Swords is kind of the cross we bear this month of retraining our thinking, realizing that whatever we thought was holding us back or that we were stuck to, we can actually walk right away from. We just need to realize we're not as stuck as we think. We actually have you actually have massive resources available. Oh God, here come all the dogs. You actually have massive resources at your disposal in the month of January. Some of those resources are just the ability to dream, right? Just the ability to open ourselves up to what is out there. Don't close yourself off. Don't negate yourself. Don't use sort of negative thoughts or routine tapes, patterns, last year, experiences we've already been through to kind of set the tone. Allow ourselves to open up and be excited, exuberant, childlike in our thinking even, or in our dreaming. Because these dreams or these opportunities, we actually have the capacity to create if we look at the sort of the long term and understand that we have the wherewithal, the skill set, the resources we need to make these things happen. Let's look at February. So February is the Eight of Wands. Not mad at that, because I feel like here's where we're percolating. This is where we start to take action and move forward. Eight of Wands is oftentimes about fast movement, taking action. It can be about travel. It can also be about, declarations of love, right? It's a very passionate card. I do like that it almost feels like to me in this reading, we're replacing Eight Swords with Eight Wands by February, right? We're like, screw this, I'm tired of this negative thinking, or I'm tired of whatever this is that holds me back or makes me feel penned in. I'm thinking outside of the box at this point, and now I'm ready in February to move outside of the box, or to take the leap, take the jump, make it happen, right? Direct our thoughts, direct towards our desires, essentially, right? And really put that to use. So let's see what clarifies this Eight of Wands. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Not a bad card, often a card of reflection, but I think that this is about putting in the hard work and really thinking about what it is that we want and how is it that we want it in the 3D world. How do we want to make it come about and happen? Definitely willing to take the action to do so. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Let's look at the third card, and the Hermit. Wow, a lot of earth energy here. So, there's an opportunity here in February, I think, to make some money. First and foremost, with the Queen and the Seven there, and the Eight of Wands. Directing ourselves towards money making or career changes or career opportunities. There's certainly also, you have the wisdom and the intelligence to make the right decisions during the month of February, but you have to understand kind of where the opportunities lie. And I think that with the Hermit here, it's saying to me, like, keep your own counsel. Don't sort of let other people tell you what you need to do. You should know, is my feeling. There's a deep spiritual wisdom with the Hermit. He's associated with the sign of Virgo. She would be associated with any of the earth signs, right? Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. But this is about listening to that voice within, listening to the wisdom, that the spiritual wisdom that is within. And I think that it is that spiritual wisdom that is within you that is driving this, the fire energy of these 8 wands towards more financial success, more career happiness, willing to do the work and willing to make it manifest. And some of what we were maybe dreaming of here in January actually might start to show itself to us in February, or at least the actual palpable pathway. Or can you not lick his face right under me? Like, really, guys, do you have to make out right here, right now? The palpable pathway to get there, right? It's starting to come manifest or real, and there's just, with all of these 3 earth cards here, it's almost like the power of the dream that's here starts to become manifested here, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. You'll have to let me know. Let's go to March. March is the 7 of Cups. Which one do we choose? What's going on for March, Spirit? Seven of Cups obviously is an emotion card, but it is a card of confusion or fear of making the wrong choice. Because fear is an emotion, right? And it's like, oh my God, which one do I choose? Is this practical? Is this not? Like, it's interesting to me because February feels like clear. We're on the path. We're discerning. We're grounded. We're ready to go. We know what we want, or we are hearing our inner voice. I feel like March, we lose it to a degree, or there's too many opportunities or offers on board that maybe clouds our vision. Let's look at the clarifiers. 5 of Swords. So this is outside influence in March. Temperance. It's asking you to to remain balanced and not get involved. Don't get caught up in the confusion. And then Strength. Okay, I'm not mad at this month. I'm going to say this. This is an outside influence month in the sense that the 7 of Cups is confusion for you, maybe. But the 5 of Swords is always about kind of winning an argument, a debate, or a fight. It can be about politics. It can be about people's opinions. It can be about alienating other people to win the argument. But I don't feel like this is your energy. I feel like, if anything, it's outside influences. Your energy, to me, because of this Hermit here and the Magician over here, should be reside in this Strength and this Temperance card. Strength is associated with the sign of Leo, and Temperance is associated with the sign of Sagittarius. But both are together. It's a fire energy, right? Both are fire, but it's about holding our own and not like sinking to the levels of what's going on around us, or getting sidetracked or off-tracked by the chaos that might be being presented to us by, say, loved ones, family, co-workers, maybe emotional choices or decisions that are going on around us. Don't let yourself get confused. Stay strong and stay in this sort of balance of, trusting, again, still this sort of wisdom or counsel that we see here in the Hermit. We also see it here in the Magician. But here in the Magician, it might not feel as real to you as it will in February. And then like March, it feels like you might, like, outside influences are going to try and steer you away from it, or your desire is going to be to want to jump in there and kind of maybe, I don't want to say go back to old patterns, but this feels a little bit like old behavior, when really we have the opportunity to practice temperance and strength. We have the opportunity to rise above, be strong, not get involved, balance ourselves and bring ourselves through this month, no matter what the sort of hijinks, let's call it. Because I don't feel like this Five of Swords or the Seven of Cups is super serious, if that makes sense. It's more annoying than anything. And in that annoyance, sometimes we might get in our anger or our fear or our ego, and then we want to drop down in and fight it out and win the argument, or, you know, get caught up in the melee of like, oh my God, which one do I choose? It's not about that. There's this higher you that you can be accessing in this month that is really powerful, really strong, and really balanced, and oftentimes quiet, right? We, in this, you know, strength is a card of strength, yes, but it's when we're truly strong, we don't necessarily have to voice our opinion or fight for what we believe in. We know it to be true already, and that's kind of the angel that's on Temperance, right? It's that inner peace, that inner wisdom that we have within ourselves, and trusting that even in the midst of a little bit of chaos, right? Let's go to April. April's the Ace of Wands, so we succeeded in March. That's my feeling right there. Because Wands, this is the renewal of the spirit. So whatever we're dealing with in March that's causing chaos, or, and again, I'm going to say this, I don't think it's yours. I think it's situations around you that are causing a little bit of just, I don't know, chaos is the best way to put it. Confusion, frustration, situations where you could easily fall into them and get captivated by them and annoyed. But you're not going to with this Ace of Wands, because to me, April is about, you know, being re-inspired, reignited, new opportunities. It's almost like the test is, can we rise to this temperance and strength, right, in the month of March with whatever we're facing? And when we do so, because they're both fire signs, right, Sag and Leo, we get honored with new spiritual desire from like sort of the universe, right? The aces always are being handed to us out of the clouds. It's as if like spirit is honoring us for the good work that we've done the month before, right? And it's interesting to me too, because we have the Ace of Wands, and what does a magician carry? A wand. So I wouldn't be so surprised if maybe you start to see, here's a little bit of 3D manifestation career-wise or money-wise in February. There's definitely an opportunity for that. Here might be some of the dreams that we were thinking about in early January. We might actually start to see them pop off or come together with this Ace of Wands here underneath it. Let's look at the clarifiers. Four of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. This is like a money cycle for you, I feel like, only because we have such pentacle heavy stuff in February, and we have stuff going on down here. We have the King and the Queen here. We have two aces here and the four. The four, though, oftentimes can be about being miserly or stingy, but that's not the feeling I get from him here. I feel like this is he's bringing in financial stability for new opportunities that bring about the opportunity of more growth financially, or more expansion in the 3D world at the very least, with all of this Pentacles energy down here. You've got a lot of earth running in these clarifiers. So there is an opportunity here during these months, right, or this early part of the year, to sort of set yourself up in your 3D world with kind of the things that you're seeking, or the abundance that you want. And the reason why I say that is because the King and the Queen are here. And so to me, and you're willing to do the work. You have the strength and the sort of grace, the balance, the peace within you to make it happen, even in the face of adversity. And then like April rolls around and it's like, okay, cool, we're more stable now. Boom, like there's something new that comes to us. Again, he could represent any of the earth signs. This could be a male earth sign that comes into your space too during this time. So be aware of that, because sometimes the Ace of Wands can be a card of romance or, you know, desire. So there could be a couple of things working in April, and it is springtime, you know, things, animals want to produce in the spring. So that could be some of that energy too, but I really kind of think that, and the Ace of Pentacles sometimes can be a proposal. So I'm not saying you're going to get proposed to in April, but if you do, you'll have to let me know. But this feels like a very good month. It feels like a very opportune month. It feels like a month to sort of create the abundance that you want, or the abundance is coming to you in April. Let's look at May. May is the Nine of Wands. Not mad at this card. I feel like this is a card of reflection. I feel like this is about reflecting from a period before. I want to see the clarifiers on this. Page of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and the Five of Wands. Okay. I feel like every time you get your mojo, there's something like a spanner gets thrown in the works every other month, right? Like here it doesn't feel too bad. You've got a little bit of worry going on here. Here feels really good. Here feels kind of like outside influences messing with you. You're back on track and good to go and inspired in April. And then it's not that it's bad, but I feel like again we have another 5 and the 7 of Cups showing back up to wreak havoc. In May. And wow, the reason why I say this is because in May, the Page of Pentacles is here. We're like, whatever we're building in April, whatever we were looking at in February, we're starting to actually learn about or put to practical use in action and move forward, maybe bit by bit. I think that it's happening here also. The Nine of Wands to me feels like we are reflecting back to the past. And I'm talking like 2022 or earlier. And understanding some aspect of whatever it is that we've been through. And maybe finding out that we're done with whatever this is that keeps arriving. If this is a person, a situation, a family member, a situation at work that brings us grief or just struggle, we're really coming to terms with like, you know what, I've done this dance before. I'm over this. I don't want this in my life anymore. Because it's just slowing your growth down. It's almost knocking this king down to a page, knocking this queen down to a page. And not that a page is bad, but it's like we're trying to hold on to our goals here of whatever it is we desire in the 3D world. And life gets in the way or scenarios get in the way. And yes, we get tugged at them emotionally, but it's like, it's wasting our time. The interesting thing is the Five of Wands depicts a bunch of kids playing with wands and fighting. This person, i.e. you're keeping all your wands to yourself. You're using your past wisdom of arguments or whatever in the past to not go there again. Like you've used your wands, instead of getting into the melee and the fight, you've built a wall and sort of maybe protected yourself with through your past experience. Let's look at June. June is the Knight of Cups. I don't remember your last reading, but I do want to say this. If there is a significant other in this, I'm going to tell you this because I feel like there's another thread happening through this. Give me 1 second. Let me clarify this Knight of Cups. If you've got an off again, on again, January, it feels good. February, they pull back, but it's not bad yet, right? It's still kind of percolating. March, I feel like there's problems. If this is a relationship, if this is a romantic relationship, it's requiring you to have patience and be strong. A renewal happens again in April, and then struggle bus happens a little bit in May, where there's still connection, but you're kind of looking back at maybe the last few months even and going like, okay. Because I feel like, and you'll have to let me know when you see this reading, if there is a romantic interest, and they would already be in the picture is my feeling. There's certain cards that stick out to me as them. The Page of Cups is them here. The Eight of Wands and the Hermit to me feels like them here. You're the Queen of Pentacles. This just feels like this still to me is your energy. They feel either gone or causing problems. Like they're the confusion. That's the emotionality of the Seven of Cups that we see twice. It's kind of like, I don't know what to choose. Do I stay with this? Do I go? This is giving me trouble. It's not working for me. But then it reignites again in April and things feel good again. Or you're a little bit on the protective side, right? But then May rolls around and it's like we're back in the same thing. And I feel like they're kind of maybe breadcrumbing you a little bit. The Page of Pentacles can be a breadcrumbing where they're giving you very little. And then they're back on again as the Knight of Cups in June. Let me clarify this Knight of Cups and then get off this love story, because I don't know if you have any sort of connection going on, but the Hierophant, oh shit, the Eight of Cups, and the King of Cups. If you do have a love story, this is the pivotal month, is June. This is the big banger of the month. Hierophant is Taurian energy. Also, a card of like institutions, higher spiritual knowledge, wisdom. It is a pillar card. It is a very strong card. This is about mood. This month, whether it is a person, right, whether it is a significant amour, let's say, that we're dealing with over the next 6 months. If it's not that, this is us moving towards what it is we love, what it is we truly desire in our heart, what we know to be true spiritually, and really making the commitment to that. This could also be, if there is another person involved in this that you're interested in, this could be them finally stepping forward. But this Eight of Cups to me makes me feel like I'm not sure if you are ready for it at that point. If this is not about a paramour or a love situation, I feel like this is about you walking away from what doesn't please you towards what does in your world, emotionally, spiritually, in a very strong, grounded sort of way. I feel like the Hierophant here is almost the culmination of all of this earthy energy that we see in the months previous. It's really solidified and made like almost a good foundation for you to move forward emotionally in a way that is sound and based in love and your truth. Whether that's around a job or, life in general, a boyfriend, whatever, this could be that relationship also coming in very strong, very present, very aware. But this Eight of Cups makes me think like, I don't know if I want it. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I don't know that next month it's not going to be, up and down and up and down, kind of like what we see here. Like here and here, it's okay, but I feel like, yes, the Eight of Wands is here, but I also feel like the Hermit is here, so they may withdraw at times through February. They're still present, though. They're still connected. You'll have to let me know. I don't know if I'm on the right track with that. But the last card for July is the Ten of Wands. Okay, let me clarify this. Ten of Wands is about releasing of a burden, being at the finish line, really being complete with something or done. It's also high fire, and we're in July, which would be summer, which is, I feel like that bodes nicely. Like, as far as, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but to me it feels like it's in energetic alignment to what's going on in the natural world, right? So, the Fire of the Wands, and it's in summer in July, and July is Leo season, right? July, August, I believe. So that's also fire sign. This is a really good time. I feel like it's in alignment, whatever is going on with this release that's happening with this Ten of Wands. Whatever this is this could signify us just working really hard in the month of July, but I feel like there's this potential ending, departure, letting go. Knight of Wands, Two of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. I think there is a love story here. If I'm wrong, Melanie, you'll have to let me know, but I think there is one. All right, so like I said, regardless of what's going on, further out in the months, it's less predictable. So just be aware of that. And anything we see further out in the months that we don't like, we can make, through free will, make choices and changes to make it the outcome, right? Affect the outcome, change the outcome. I don't see this as a bad thing. What I see here is it looks like somebody who's kind of done carrying the load, understands that. And even though they might be being pursued romantically or chased, even, and they're aware of the connection and the love, I'm not so sure that they're not choosing themselves more so than anything. The Nine of Pentacles is oftentimes associated with Virgo energy, which is the Hermit we see back here, but also it's about a single woman who has everything she needs to be content and happy. And it's about personal completions. The Ten of Wands is about, total completion for everyone involved, or, tens are about that. But it's funny because you have the Two of Cups, which is probably, in my opinion, the most romantic card in the deck, and then the Knight of Wands, which he's fiery and passionate, but he lacks staying power. So it's just kind of like, do I trust this? And the last month is really sort of good, but it's like you're not trusting it. So my indication when I'm looking at this run of cards is it feels like, although, yes, there's a connection, yes, that it can be fun and fiery and passionate at times, it's not the stability that you seek. And I'm going to say this, if there's not a like romance or love connection in here, you can use that terminology with anything you're dealing with in July. July feels like it's a release, like it's a drop of like some outdated stuff, dead weight, whatever it is that we've been carrying. We're done here. And we understand that. And we can be done with love. We can be done, in a compassionate way with whatever the situation may be. Is this Two of Cups also? If this is a very specific love relationship, if you have something going on with somebody right now and what I'm talking about resonates and makes sense to you, this is a month where you get to make a choice. And it's whether you choose the relationship over you. But sometimes when we choose ourselves, we actually end up inevitably choosing the relationship. And that's where I don't know, because I'm not going beyond July for you, but I don't get a bad feeling from these cards, but I feel like the choice is to release the burden and stand on your own, in your own power and your own strength. Still honoring what you know to be true, still maybe even being pursued in a way or passionate about something, but understanding that you're the most important thing in this equation, whatever the equation may be, whether it's a job or a relationship or whatever. This is like to me, the nine is really pulling my attention, and the drop of the 10 is like, okay, I got to choose me over this stuff right now. And so you go about doing that, and in doing so, you might even create more love or open the door for more love to expand, because I don't feel like the love is off the table. The Knight of Wands can be a very passionate card too. He's also associated with Sagittarian energy too. But but like July might not be the time, right? You have like a lot of Pentacles energy happening here. I feel like there's a transformation taking place. You're not aware of it right now in the month of January, but there's a transformation taking place in your 3D world, whether it's around your relationship, if you have a significant other. It's ebbing and flowing throughout the months, but it is transforming, and it's leading you, this is going to sound cornball, but it's leading you back to yourself in a good way. And if anything, there's huge opportunities to create more like 3D financial abundance if that's what you seek this year. There's even opportunities for love if you don't already have love, because there's a lot of like sort of romancy cards in here, if that makes any sense. I mean, you have like all like the cards that could represent marriage are here. Um, you have the Two of Cups. You have the, to me, the Page of Cups, the Eight of Wands. Like these are like the sort of the romance cards, the Ace of Wands. Like, so there could be something, and a couple of court cards too, like which are players in that kind of show up and arrive in our lives at different times. So there could be different people coming in and out too during these months. So pay attention to that. But I kind of get a feeling that if there is somebody that you're with right now, and it's kind of sort of okay, we're not 100% sure. It's going to get a little bit better in February. It's going to go off in March. It's going to get hot in May, go off in June, April. It'll be hot, go off in May. In June, it will feel probably the most solid it's felt, or they'll be maybe the most ready, and you may not be. That leads us to July, and July, it's still going, but you're still like, you're almost, you're involved, but you're kind of like standing on your own 2 feet, is my feeling. And again, that can be applied to money, love, whatever. Like we're looking at the energy of like sort of what the cards represent and where everything looks like it's flowing, and honestly, I think that this is a really strong first half of the year for you. And there's definite opportunities to stand in your power all throughout all of these months. I see power in a lot of these months. The only month that sort of lacks a little bit of power is here. And even then, the Nine of Wands is it's not really a power card, but it's a sort of a card of like well-worn wisdom. So this is, May would be the one, like, I mean, you've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Hermit here, the Temperance and the Strength here, 2 Aces and the King of Pentacles here. These are, even here, you've got, to me, the Magician and the Page of Cups is a fairly strong combination for manifestation. Like it's really strong. And then over here you have like the Hierophant, the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups. This is a good month too for you. It's an emotional month, but it's a good month. It's a solid month. And even here, these are not bad cards. This is like the only month where I feel like you might, I don't want to say disempowered, but like where you're not like maybe you're still learning with this Page of Pentacles here in this month, but it's a month where there's big opportunities in all of these other months for you. Let's just say that. And this month is about maybe slow learning and reflection. But you're still learning and you're still gaining in this month. I hope that makes sense. You're going to have to let me know. You're going to have to fill me in and tell me if there is a love interest, because if there is, I need to know, because I do see this sort of ebb and flow relationship where I feel like there's a male counterpart in some of these cards, that he kind of is present one month and then withdraws the next, and is present the next month and then withdraws, sort of thing. I'm going to say this too, do not get sidetracked in March or May. March and May are going to be, I'll say this, March is probably the month where you'll expand, like you have huge opportunities for growth with Temperance and the Strength card here. Huge opportunities to rise to like a higher version of you and make things happen even in the midst of chaos. May, you may not feel as though you have that, and I don't see it, or I don't necessarily feel it. But And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that June is gonna be a really incredible month for you, is my feeling. I feel like your key months are gonna be March, June, and April. February's not bad either, and neither is January right now. But January's not doing, like, I almost feel like January's all about manifestation right now. We're like up in our thoughts, trying to get our way out of this Eight of Swords and get into that magical thinking to set the path off for this all to happen. And it begins to happen, and when it does, it's gonna be good for you ultimately. And I don't want you to live in fear of May. May is not a bad month, it's just maybe a month that isn't quite as productive or as empowered as the other months of this 6-month reading. And even there's a little bit of struggle bus here with this Ten of Wands in July, but in the end you're okay. I don't see any death cards or like tower moments or super strife, anything. And anything that's annoying to me, like the Seven of Cups, Five of Wands, Seven of Cups, Five of Swords, which is an interesting combo. It says to me this is a recurring thing. Like, I don't know if this is a family member or a relationship or whatever, but it wants to keep coming back. It's going to test you more in March, I'll say that with Strength and Temperance here, than it will probably in May. Because the Nine of Wands is smarter, right? They understand, like, oh, I don't have to bring my wands to this fight anymore. So if it is the same thing that creeps back into your life or whatever, or starts acting the same way and trying to get under your skin in May, you've already learned beyond it, if that makes sense. You're gonna have to let me know if any of this makes sense. All right, dear, thank you for being patient. I really appreciate it. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, send them over to me. If I can remember which cards were which, I will try. This is a fair amount of cards and a lot of stuff going on. I do think this first 6 months for you is extremely powerful and extremely opportune. Anything that you set your mind to right now, you could potentially create, is my feeling. That's kind of the theme of this January moving into the next set of months. Even if we hit some roadblocks along the way, we may not, it doesn't stop us by any means at all by July. And like I said, there's still like a lot of love and passion and independence here in July. We just might have to like let go of the burden and set ourselves free, if that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna stop saying if that makes sense. I will see you later. I'll get this uploaded to you and message you in just a moment. And thank you again so much. I really, really do appreciate it. You have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful first 6 months. If anything keys off that matches up in these months, definitely message me and say, remember when you said that like March was going to be challenging? Guess what I'm facing? I love to hear that sort of stuff. It just makes me feel great. All right, I will talk to you later. And you can always watch this. It's available to you for the next year. You will only have the link. So only you can see this video, okay? All right, thank you so much and take care. Bye-bye.